John Hersey International, and we're bringing to you a series of tips to make this your best year ever.
And we're going to start with helping you become unforgettable.
Now, being unforgettable means that you are distinctive and indispensable in everything you do.
The world is full of ordinary people doing ordinary jobs and providing ordinary service, and the fact of the matter is we've got lots of choices, and if we're ordinary, we put ourselves at risk. We put ourselves at risk because every one of the products and services that we offer, you offer watching this video, can be purchased anywhere. And we don't have to purchase them from ordinary people or ordinary companies. If we can make ourselves unforgettable, we can amplify our job security and our financial security. If, on the other hand, we are ordinary, we put ourselves at risk.
Tell them a story about the North End restaurant.
Here's a great one. We're walking down, we used to live in the Italian North End of Boston. We're walking down the street one day about 12, 15 years ago, and this short, round, bald guy with a furry mustache walks up to us, and we've never met him before, and in his best broken English looks up at us and says, "Manja, manja, you coming here with us? You don't like the food? You don't got to pay." We didn't know what the guy was talking about, but we followed him like a couple of... Well, anyways, that started a long relationship with an extraordinary leader, Franco Graceffa, the owner of Dolce Vita's restaurant. 10 years later, we went back, we're going to have dinner at Dolce Vita. We walked in, it was a brand new restaurant. They had redone it. No Franco. We couldn't find him. We were about to leave and walk out when we heard this booming voice from the back of the room screaming, "Buonasera, buonasera, you two look like a movie stars."
Well, this is the story. This is the end of the story, and that is that restaurant is thriving. Years and years in the business in a very competitive market. There are got to be at least 100 Italian restaurants in the Italian North End of Boston. Why is it so successful? Because there is a sense of belonging. There's a sense of being part of the neighborhood. Franco has made it an unforgettable experience to dine at his restaurant.
So here's some tips on how you can be unforgettable. The first one is zig while the rest of the world is zagging. We used to recommend this to clients in the advertising business all the time. And a great way for you to zig while other people are zagging is showcase your positive attitude. Now, I'm not talking about being Pollyanna, but, you know, people are walking around with long faces these days, and everything is gloom and doom like the sky is falling. If you can say, "I'm making this my best year ever," and if you can act that way every single day and showcase your positive attitude, you will certainly be distinctive, you'll make yourself indispensable, and you'll be unforgettable.
Another way to be distinctive is to be the go-to person. Be an expert. Be outstanding in an area. For instance, you might decide to take on blogging and become the blogging expert. So people go to you when they have questions about blogging. Or be the best read in some area of business so people know that you're an expert.
Absolutely, Bev. Now, here's a couple of mistakes that people make in their attempt to be unforgettable. The first is, we think it's a good idea to do the wrong things, or things that we've done up to this point, oftentimes the wrong things, but do them louder and more often.
Absolutely, and I find more often than not right now, I'm throwing out more mail in the garbage before it even comes in the house because it's the same mail, it's just more of it. It's not unforgettable. It's not even being read. So are you being unforgettable, or are you just putting more stuff in the mail or on the phone?
And here's another mistake people make is they get an attitude of good enough is good enough, because we don't want to upset the apple cart. Good enough is good enough. We met a guy here in Fountain Hills who's a great entrepreneur who used to coach his employees that the reason we go to work every day is not to push the rock. The reason we go to work every day is to move the rock. So when at the end of the day comes and we feel pretty good and pretty exhausted because we've worked really hard at pushing the rock, guess what? Not good enough. We need to be moving the rock, and it was a great metaphor for us to remember from Beck Horton.
You know, the final tip we have to make on this is that find yourself a trusted friend, a colleague, an associate who will be brutally honest with you and tell you the truth. Are you really being unforgettable? Are you just kidding yourself and thinking you are? That's the best thing you can do right now to make this your best
year ever.